Today, my take is going to be a review of the event that happened right here in Washington, D.C. earlier this week on Tuesday evening, where the Save Nigeria Coalition, which is a grouping of Nigerians and Americans who are interested in getting the American government to support the Nigerian government in quelling and curbing and ending the extreme violence that has been going on in our country for quite a number of years. At that event, there were two important things that happened. There was a recognition of American U.S. officials and faith leaders in Nigeria who were given award for their role and their voices in calling attention to the carnage, the bloodletting, the violence, the killings that has been going on in Nigeria. And one of the people that was honored at that event was actually Pastor E.A. Adeboye, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. And in his speech, which was from his heart, he spoke for over 20 minutes. Pastor Adeboye expressed pain at the suffering of Nigerians, especially Christians, including his own pastors, who have suffered from the killings and the violence that has taken place. So he called for a global coalition to support Nigerian government and Nigerian people to terminate or at least end this violence that has been going on for years. He gave examples of some of his own pastors who were victims of the violence. He gave an example of one of the pastors in the Northeast whose newly born twin children were slaughtered by terrorists, but who still insisted on staying back to continue his work of faith. He gave the example of another member of the Redeemed Christian Church of God who was killed in Abuja because she was doing an early morning evangelism. And so Pastor Adeboye, at that event where he highlighted the issues of bringing together a global coalition, noted that it was important for the world, for America, to help Nigeria to solve this problem, to support the efforts of the Nigerian government, and to work together to bring terrorism and banditry and this extreme violence to an end. Now, I also spoke at the event where I was also a co-host, and one of the things that I said is that when we call attention to these things, when we call attention to the violence, to the killings, when we call attention to the bloodletting, the carnage that is ongoing in our country, we don't do it. We don't do it to make the government of the day look bad. That's not our intention at all. We do it because, being human beings, we cannot look away from situations where people are being killed, where people are being slaughtered like rams. Our humanity compels us to speak out. And that is why we always say here on Inside Sources that what we want to do is to get both the government and the people to put their hearts together. And like this event in Washington, D.C. Emphasized, to also get the Americans to lead a global coalition to bring support to the Nigerian government and the Nigerian people to end this carnage, to end this violence. And I made the point at that event. Now, I must also say that I'm delighted that Channels TV and Inside Sources and my humble self also received one of the awards, which was called the Voice and the Valor of Truth from the Save Nigerian Group, for which, we are delighted. And the reason why we do this, the reason why we call attention again to these issues is so that it can be brought to an end. At that event, the Nigerian ambassador to the United States, Ambassador Kayode Are, who actually is going to be featured on Inside Sources, he also sent another ambassador, Ambassador Aliyu Bill, to speak at the event. And so this was an event where every stakeholders were brought together to see how is it that we can get more support from the Americans, and like Pastor Adeboye said, globally, to help us end this carnage. And that is what all of this is about. And so I received the honor and the award as the Valor of Truth 2026 of the Faith U.S. Nigeria Faith Heroes Award. I received it with delight because it's all about what we can do to end this crisis, to end this carnage, to end this killing, to end this extreme violence from which our people have been suffering. And there you have my take. Inside Sources will continue, and in today's segment, I'm going to be having an exclusive interview with Nigeria's permanent representative to the United Nations, an ambassador who just resumed less than 2 months ago, Ambassador Jimoh Ibrahim. And then on Sunday, at the Sunday edition, I will also be having an exclusive interview with Ambassador Kayode Are, Nigeria's ambassador to the United States. It's also his own first interviews. So both of them are being featured today and on Sunday on Inside Sources. Inside Sources will be right back.